Hello everyone. Welcome to Fuzia TV, a unique platform for empowering and showcasing inspiring women across the globe. I am Shraddha Varma, co-founder for Fuzia. Well, today we have the pleasure of meeting Mrs. Shellye Archambeau. Shellye is the former CEO of Metricstream, and she serves on the board for companies like Verizon, Nordstrom, and many others. So, I think Shellye would be the right person to give her own introduction. Shellye, over to you.
Well, thank you very much, Shraddha. It's great to be here and to be participating with all of you. As Shraddha said, I've actually spent my entire career in technology. After 15 years with IBM running operations in the US as well as overseas, I then became a CMO and EVP of sales for a couple of public companies and ultimately worked my way to be CEO of Metricstream, a company that I led for 15 years, from basically a restart all the way up to a company worth hundreds of millions of dollars and focused all over the world.
Wow. So this brings me to my question, that is, having held such leadership position for so many years, what according to you is or defines a great leader?
There are several traits to a great leader, but ones that I think that are the most important is a leader doesn't become a leader by title. A leader becomes a leader because their people decide they want to follow the leader. So a leader has to be inspiring. A leader has to be able to identify and communicate the overall vision and strategy for the organization. And the leader has to be able to create a team and an organization that can then deliver on that strategy and then drive the execution over time.
I think that's something that's very truly said, because leader is someone whom others look up to. So I think definitely that's one of a very insightful answer that I've gotten from you. So, in your entire, career, what's one leadership lesson that you have learned or you have taken up?
The team. At the end of the day, Shraddha, it's all about the team. So you can have the right strategy, the right vision, you can have the right product, but if you don't have the right team, the right skill sets, the right experience behind you, you can't execute.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
Putting the right team in place is the most important.
Definitely true, because that's what you are driving. And if people are not aligned, it's like the car. They have the wheels are not aligned, and it becomes difficult to reach the destination or the goal.
Exactly.
So, yes. What keeps you motivated or keeps you going? Because being in the tech field, being in the leadership position for so many years, I'm sure it's a lot of responsibility. So what keeps you going, motivated, and going through your goals?
At the end of the day, I just want to make an impact.
Yeah.
And so I wake up every day focused on how am I going to make an impact? Whether that's an impact with the organization that I'm working with, whether it's an impact on society in general. I'm very passionate about diversity and women and ensuring that we are rising to the levels that we should rise with regards to power and influence, etc. So I wake up every day looking at what can I do to make an impact.
I think that's great, because I think someone who's driven by passion and purpose, you don't have to think a lot about what you do today. So, yes. So on a lazy Sunday, Shellye,
yes,
what would you be doing then?
I don't have many lazy Sundays.
Okay,
but when I do, that's okay, but when I do, believe it or not, I love starting my day with a cup of tea and the New York Times.
Okay.
Physical New York Times. During the week, I read the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, all those things digitally.
Yeah.
But on the weekend, there's something about just going through the newspaper and reading the articles, etc., that I find very calming and very relaxing, with a little jazz music playing in the background.
Oh, so you're a jazz music lover?
I enjoy music.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sundays, because I'm chilling, I like smooth jazz.
So, is music something that motivates you? Maybe I'm just
Oh, goodness. I would say that I'm inspired by music. So I enjoy all the performing arts, whether it's music, dance, any kind of performance.
Oh, that's great.
It means a lot when I can see people who take a concept and a notion and a story and then try to communicate it in a different way. That takes a lot of talent, and I find that very inspiring.
Right, absolutely. So, I just wanted to ask, do you also have a role model whom you follow? Like every one of us, like every millennial or every girl, we do have this question: who's your role model? So do you also have a role model?
Oh my goodness, I am inspired by so many people. And it spreads the gamut of, I'm inspired by Barack Obama, by Angela Merkel. Look how long she has led Germany in a growth-oriented way, etc. I mean, it's just amazing. And then when you look in business, I look at people like Anne Mulcahy, who was at one point the CEO of Xerox and really paved the way, enabled Ursula Burns. First time you had a Fortune 500 female CEO be succeeded by a female CEO.
That was really inspiring. I had read about her, and that was really giving me goosebumps. Like, I can be that.
Exactly. So there are so many people that I'm inspired by.
Oh, so okay. Coming to the serious part of the question now. What are some patterns that you might have observed over your 15 years of career about women working in the workplace? Have the things improved over time in terms of the advancements that they have seen over the 15 years?
Yeah. The good news is, yes, things have improved. When I first started in business, women had to not only act like the men, we had to dress like the men.
Exactly.
Literally, at IBM, I wore a suit. Now, it wasn't pants, it was skirts and pantyhose. I don't even know they still sell pantyhose. And you had the white or pastel cotton blouse and a silk bow tie. That was the outfit. So we've come a long way. Absolutely. Now we can dress much more comfortably and still be able to get the job done, so that's nice. But beyond that, I definitely see more opportunities, and I definitely see more improvement. There are far more, even though the numbers are not big enough, there are far more senior executives that are women today than there were when I was starting.
So do you feel that women are now aware about their rights?
Yes, more than women being aware, I think the men are aware. And frankly, that's more important.
Exactly.
Because in most industries, they still outnumber women when it comes to leadership.
Right.
So yes, I think the men are starting to understand it. And it's not that they were negative against women before, they just were not aware of the kinds of things that we had to deal with.
A lot of negligence was there, probably. Yeah. So people always wonder about the difference in the style, how men lead something and how women lead something. What are your thoughts on that?
It's an interesting question. I do believe that there are generalities around men and women in terms of how they lead or how they operate, and there's a lot of studies that actually show that.
Yeah.
But frankly, they're starting to blur. It would be wrong to say all women are caring and engaging and collaborative and supportive, which tend to be things that you associate with women.
Right.
All women aren't. But I think there are more women that act that way than there are men today. Men tend to lead in a much more directive, autocratic, kind of way.
Yeah.
Now again, I'm using generalities. There are a lot of men that's not the case.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
The good news is I think we're blending.
Yeah.
The other good news is a lot of the skills that used to be referred to as soft skills, which were the female skills. Right. That's why they were called soft. I hate that word. We should call those power skills.
So that's exactly. We had a lot of stereotypical thoughts, when it comes to women and men. And that's where people always used to consider, okay, this is a job for a man. This is a job for a woman.
Right. And good news is all that is changing. You can do anything that you want to do. And the skills that women tended to be known for are actually becoming not only more in demand, but frankly necessary. Teams are global.
Yeah.
If you aren't a collaborative leader that actually reaches out to incorporate and include people, you're going to have a tough time managing globally.
Absolutely.
Well, that tended to be a trait that was more female.
Absolutely.
So females are in a better position, right, in this global society.
Right. So, Shellye, are there any social causes that you really vouch for? And being the diversity, I should say, you really vouch for diversity and inclusion within a company. So I would want to know more about it. Like, why is it important, and why should people look up to it?
Yeah. At the end of the day, Companies are trying to win in the marketplace. And I said earlier, the most important aspect of an organization is the team, right? And so if you talk to any CEO today, they will tell you there's a talent shortage, right? They'll tell you they need more talent than they've got.
Yes.
Well, the world is made up, let's say, half men, half women. If we're only looking at the men for talent, then by definition, we're only looking at half the talent.
Right.
And oh, by the way, if you start adding in diversity with regards to ethnicity, and now you're only looking at white men, right? You're only looking at a small piece of the talent. So
Exactly.
it's easy to say, yes, there's a talent shortage. But we're not including 75% of the talent that's out there.
Yeah.
And I firmly believe that talent, raw talent, is equally distributed among all people. So
True.
therefore, if I want to make sure I've got the best talent, then I need to have a diverse workforce. Otherwise, I can't possibly have the best talent because I'm ignoring half of it. So that's one. The second part is studies have shown innovation is significantly improved when you bring people from different backgrounds, perspectives, et cetera, to the table
Yes.
to actually work on problems.
Absolutely. So there's actual fusion.
Absolutely. And you can't be successful in business if you aren't constantly innovating product, innovating processes, innovating how you're targeting your market.
And that definitely adds to the freshness of whatever product you're coming up with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's a number of reasons why
Yeah.
diversity is important from a business perspective.
Yeah, I think that's something that's really insightful and something that everyone should keep in mind when they are, building up a team. Right. So, coming to the last segment, Shellye, what advice would you give to our audience who are probably aspiring to have leadership positions in future or who want to achieve their goals?
Yeah.
So someone from having an extensive experience, a woman leader herself. So I'm sure that everyone would be looking forward to know some piece of advice from you.
Certainly. So the first thing I'll say is set your goals and aspirations high, and then put together a plan to actually achieve it. The more intentional you are in what you do, the more likely the outcome will be what you want. So if you want to one day be a CEO of a company, wonderful. Look and see, what have CEOs done? What are their backgrounds educationally? What kind of experiences have they had? And then put a plan in place so that you're going to get those kinds of experience, that kind of background, so that you can indeed compete. And then number two, tell everybody what you want to do. I firmly believe that if you don't tell the universe what you want or what you need, then the universe can't help you. And out there are a lot of people that are absolutely willing to help you if they just knew what you needed. So tell people what you want. And then third, at the end of the day, you have to deliver on objectives. Full stop. So you have to do the job you currently have in an outstanding way so you have an opportunity to do the next one. So set your sights high, be intentional, put a plan in place, and then make sure that you are doing the very best you can at each level so that you can continue to rise.
Wow. So I will say that that's the perfect mantra for excelling at your work, be it whatever you do. I think, thank you so much, Shellye, it was a wonderful opportunity for me to interact with you, and it was a pleasure having you here. You are truly an inspiration, not only to me, but I'm sure to a lot more people who will be viewing this video and taking up your advice and tips. So thank you everyone for joining us here, and I'll be signing off for now. Thank you, and keep looking forward for more of such inspiring videos.